Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Justin Lemmy.
I'm Sean DeWeird.
And I'm Broadway.
We are the show that talks about
computers,
technology,
and the internet.
We got through it.
Oh my God, the first try.
Hey, congratulations. Hey.
I got to say, we get a lot of feedback on last week's show when all four of us were on the show. Somebody said it was like trying to watch a tennis match. It was in high speed, going back and forth, trying to capture like what the heck was going on. But yeah, we have a lot of fun here. So we are, and somebody also asked, and who was the one who said something about the unedited video? Was that you, Broadway?
That was me.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't do it.
So now I've got people asking me to share the unedited video.
No. We respect y'all. We respect y'all enough not to do it.
So for the listeners who don't know, if you go to our website at techtalkradio.com,
sorry, I got the coronavirus.
That's not good.
That's not something to joke about.
Yeah, but if you go to the website at techtalkradio.com, you'll see a photo there. And if you guys noticed, I've finally been able to spend a little time on it. And I put the video that we did last week, which was a short 20-minute segment with Sean showing us the A10 Mini, which he's taken it to a whole nother level now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What did you end up adding to that thing?
So all I did was I just networked it in to my computer, and I can do the amount of resources you get and the abilities to do different wipes and DVEs and dips and stuff. You get way more, so I can actually blend myself in. If you're watching the video, you can see
now,
it.
Those of you listening on radio can't actually see this.
Well, hopefully we'll have a video we'll be able to share with you so you'll be able to see it. But it's pretty cool. I do like that. And you can do that all with your computer.
Yeah, before I would have to reach over and push on the buttons and stuff, but now it's all I have it right here on my second display, so I can actually do it all from my computer, and I can build macros now, so I could have my numpad set up to do macros and stuff like that, so I can cut or wipe or bring in graphics or play media all through just macros on my keyboard.
I thought we were talking about last week though that thing didn't have a way to monitor. You got let me back up. You guys said, and I remember Justice said specifically, this thing is not actually monitoring all the streams coming in from the different sources. I beg to differ. The research I did on that thing, it actually has some cache on each of the chips for the streams, so it actually has a time window. So him being able to do macros and put media injected and stuff like that kind of still leads to the fact that a small-time gamer, streamer, or someone who wants to get into vlogging, this product is probably pretty damn good for that. Oh, Absolutely. Excuse me, French.
Well, it's pretty, especially at the price point. What, under $300?
I think it was $315 or $320 after shipping and all that stuff, taxes.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. All right, I bought something this week because I have been. We didn't do a segment on KMSB Fox 11 2 weeks ago because we had ordered something, and it never came in. When it came around Sunday night, I got a note from Amazon saying, "Unfortunately, your shipment won't arrive till tomorrow." So I was like, "Oh, what am I going to show now?" Right? And it's 9:00 at night. What am I going to do? So I decided, okay, I skipped a segment. So this week I went ahead and I ordered it on Friday. I've been working with, not working with, but I contacted the folks at MinisForum, and we talked about them. They make, small computer, desktop computer, mini form factor. And when I say mini, these are mini. And I contacted them. It was really funny because they went ahead and they answered my email, the PR department there at MinisForum. And I told them, I said, hey, I do the segment on TV. I want to be able to show on one of the, minis, PCs, show it on TV, give people an idea how exciting this mini desktop computer revolution is, because we got a lot of manufacturers making them now. And, we'll use it for about 2 weeks and we'll send it back. I mean, I never said I want to keep it. I don't do that. Sure. We tell them we're going to send it back. The guy responded to me and he said, why don't you buy one?
Oh my goodness.
And so I sent him back. I said, well, we're going to show this on TV. And, it's not like we don't have a huge budget to be buying stuff every week. And he said, just buy one. And if you need more, I'll give you a special price. So I just kind of let it go. And I said, well, thanks. If we end up buying one, I'll let you know. And, about the coverage. So then I reached out to another company called Zotac. And I've used one of their video cards before, and I really liked it. It was a good video card, a gaming card. and they make them as well. And same thing, I get an email. He sends me an email back, asking me a bunch of questions like our viewership on Fox 11. Where will this be seen? Will we do something online with it? And I send them this like 3-paragraph. This is how many listeners. This is how many viewers. Blah blah blah. 2-week turnaround. We get it. Use it for 2 weeks. We send it back. And then he fell off the face of the earth. Just disappeared. Then I followed up with another email. Hey, just want to make sure you got nothing. So I finally said, you know what? I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and buy one. So I didn't buy a MinisForum. I went ahead and I found a company after checking out reviews, and I'm showing it to the camera right now. It's called ACE PC. And the model I looked at was the T11. And the T11 ACE PC is a mini form factor desktop computer running Windows 10, 64-bit. It's Windows Home, 64-bit. And the thing I like about it, it's just so small. Now, this one is fanless, means there's no fan in it, so it doesn't make a lot of noise. It doesn't heat up too bad. It's runs the Intel Atom processor, and it comes with 64 gigabytes of flash memory on board. We were talking about this a few weeks ago. Really, it's like a flash drive, right? I mean, what you have inside your computers when you're running even an SSD, it's electric. It's what it is. No moving parts. It does feature, and on this one, the specs said that it was 4 USBs, 1 USB 3.0. I actually got 2 USB 3s, and I got 2 regular USBs. It comes with HDMI out, so you can hook it directly to a big screen TV. And what people are doing with these is using them as entertainment devices on their big screen TVs. So if they don't have a smartphone or smart TV, or they want to be able to say Vimeo. For example, Vimeo has an on-demand service you can subscribe to. Xbox won't allow you to get the on-demand features of that. So instead, you can use this connected to, Windows 10 running on your big screen TV and do everything you would need to do. And if you get a wireless keyboard, you could sit in your chair, watch TV, and then switch over, use your PC, and be able to go. But what I like about this, you can upgrade the memory. So you can put an SSD, 2.5-inch drive. So you can put an SSD or even a standard spinny if you got one laying around. Only $149.
And
That's
what's
all
the
it
processor
costs
in there
me.
again?
It's the Intel Atom processor. It's the Z. I want to say it's the 8350. I don't have the specs in front of me. Actually, I do. Let me grab
It's a
these real quick.
1.6, right?
Yeah,
1.6
1.6 gigahertz. And, boot up time on Windows was a lot different than it is on my i7, of course. But for the price,
What's the footprint?
not too bad. It doesn't say here on the box, but it's about the size of
Looks about 7 by 5 by 2.
Yeah, about 2 CDs.
The thing I noticed first off when you posted it on Facebook was the fact that it still shipped with VGA.
Yeah.
I found that to be really interesting because you could lose almost 2.5, 3 inches of size if they got rid of that analog port.
Maybe you put another HDMI on it would have been nice too.
Is that a display port or an HDMI?
That's there is an HDMI port, there is an VGA port. So for me, in testing and being able to hook it up to something small, I use the VGA connector.
And it has a Super C? Is that what I'm seeing on the?
Yeah.
Holy crud! Look at that.
So, it's again, it's not that bad. But
4
yeah,
USBs or 2, 4.
It has 4 USBs on the side. So what you do is now you have to use a wired keyboard and wired mouse to get it set up, obviously. Then once you get Windows set up and get it all configured and activated, then you just go ahead and you can plug your USB device for a wireless keyboard and a wireless mouse.
It does have Bluetooth?
And it does have Bluetooth, and it does have Wi-Fi, the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz as well. So I like this. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to use it. I'm thinking I've got a TV here in the studio because I bought it. So I'm thinking of 2 things. You tell me what I should do. I have a studio in here. I could hook it up to that and use it for Facebook on my big screen TV for when I have people in the studio and we do a Facebook live stream. Or I could give it away as a prize at TechtalkRadio.com.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Huh. That might. We gotta think about that one.
Cool. Do you think somebody would want to win that?
You
also, they didn't cheap out. sorry, because I know Sean recently bought something and they did not include a cable. They gave me an HDMI cable. They also didn't cheap out. They gave me a rack. I'm showing it on the camera.
Universal.
It looks like it's a Versa extension.
No, it's a universal
yeah.
monitor extension.
Yeah, so you can put this on the back of a monitor. It's how small
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
this is. So you can hang it so it's completely out of sight. So you would think it's maybe a desktop underneath the case, the whole bit. But again, if you want to buy one, they're only $149, which is, I mean, that's really reasonable for Windows 10. Think about it. Windows 10 license is what, $140. So, and you're getting Windows with it.
Now, what did you say the storage was on that?
Storage is only 64 gigabytes.
Okay.
But once I installed Windows, I got that. It comes pre-installed.
But you can add a two.
You can add a 2.5-inch drive.
Regular
Well,
SSD.
Well, once I checked it, I still have 40 gigabytes left after installing OpenOffice and
That's really nice.
running Windows. So yeah.
So right now that you could have that with a 2 terabyte SSD because they're on sale right now, and you'd have a PC under $500 with a 2 terabyte.
Yeah. Now, would it be? Let me ask you: if I put a 2 terabyte in that versus the 64 gigabytes of memory that's on board, would it be faster in the boot up?
Well, first off, it's not memory; it's hard drive space.
Hard drive.
Right.
It's just hard drive. So
Right.
you have a solid state drive in there. I mean, when you're saying memory, it uses the solid state drive for both. I'm assuming.
So there's no dedicated RAM?
No, but no, it's 4 gigabytes of dedicated RAM.
Okay. So you're talking about storage space versus memory. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking that they were using the SSD for both, like
No.
a phone, like an Android.
No, there's no SSD in there.
So
No.
you literally have memory chip and an actual physical drive.
No, there's no drive. It's a memory chip. It's hold on here. It is the eMMC flash memory, and that gives you 4 gigabytes.
Yeah, but then how much storage space?
Oh, I'm sorry. And then storage space, your ROM is 64 gigabytes. I sound like somebody telling me, "Oh, I want to get a bigger hard drive because I only get 2 gigabytes."
So
No.
hopefully to straighten this all out for me, you, and the
Yes.
listeners, because I
Yes.
know I just created a big bad
Yes,
problem
you did.
here.
Thank you.
Is there a physical drive I'm showing right here in the unit?
No.
Okay.
You have a case you can open up. You can open up the back of it and insert a drive, and then have everything will move over to the SSD. If it's an SSD, they'll move over to that. Otherwise, it'll show up as a second drive.
Yeah, Sean, you
Sean looks lost.
Sean,
No, I
Sean?
mean, I'm following along.
No,
I
you're
just,
not.
I mean, the things that I wanted to comment
He's
on were really the
speechless.
VGA,
He's speechless.
making it a
Yeah.
smaller form compact. The memory stuff, I don't really care about all that.
Now,
Well,
okay, so
I was making a point because it sounded like it's like an Android with a single chip device. So I was trying to be clear. I mean, when you said you can add a 2.5-inch drive, I was thinking in my head, I just saw 2 terabyte SSDs go on sale,
how much?
and they were something like $299. I mean, you're almost at I think, or less. Was it $250? It was basically $125 a terabyte. And I'm thinking for an SSD, that's smoking. And 2 terabytes, you could put a lot of movies, like you were saying, use it on the back of a TV or a monitor or whatever. Most people could have their own DVR, which I'm not trying to segue into what we're going to talk about a little bit later, but in a way, let's segment it off, and you could talk about how that would be the perfect home server.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's what a lot of people. If you go online, you go to YouTube, you can check out. And I did some research. You can check out videos people are posting online about them setting up their own servers.
I could take I know we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but the size is really what I like about it. I do like the VGA being on there is a little weird, I think, for a computer these days, but it's not out of the question because there's a lot of people that still use VGA monitors. They didn't go away once HDMI came out, and you can buy adapters for them and things like that.
I'll be honest, I have 3 monitors right in front of me right now. My 2 side monitors are both using VGA because that's all they take. They take DVI or VGA, and actually, I take that back. I'm sorry. I'm using DVI. Sorry, never mind, not VGA.
Right. Well,
but they don't use HDMI. They don't have HDMI.
But they couldn't they have gone with an output with a dongle, and then
Probably.
that's in that way if you needed to connect
Probably.
it to a DVI connector, you
I but I basically take back my last comment because I'm using DVI, but I get your point, Sean. Like, there are some people that are still using VGA out there. It's not a dead technology, by any means.
But
Yeah,
again, space saving, you're thinking.
The size is really what draws me to it, because specifically for work related things too, it's like you get a lot of computers that require a specific amount of power, and that power is coming down based on the needs or the applications you're running. You could fit 2 of those in a rack mount, 1 rack unit, rack mount, whereas some computers that are needed take up a 2 rack unit, the full 2 rack unit. So going from 1 computer to potentially 4 or more, depending on your needs, could be a significant space savings in a rack environment.
If you're in an office environment, and I mean, the days that we had these big old towers under our desks or on top of our desk, if you weren't deploying, some kind of VMware solution where everybody was just running on a monitor connected to a server, you had a situation here where now you can have these on your desktop, because really, what are you doing at work? Depending on where you're working, I mean, most of the time it's just going to be answering email, getting stuff off the website, maybe doing some light bookkeeping, and they talk about, Broadway was showing up, holding up his phone. They talk about the fact that our phones are more powerful now than some PCs that are out there.
Yes.
With a Samsung Galaxy S20, I think the 20 Ultra is going to have something like 12 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, seriously, does it need it? But it's going to be there. And so with that, now you have this capability of being able to have a small form factor, have it on a desk, so a business can deploy this inexpensively at $150, and there you go. And still has Ethernet. So
to me, you got 3 choices now. You have the micro PC, which would be like the Raspberry Pi, right?
Yeah.
That's like a micro. This is a true mini. And then the next step up is like, I know I'm familiar with the product Lenovo has, but Lenovo, HP, Dell, they all have these mini PCs that fit in the same form factor that you just showed. But of course, they could go all the way up to $1,000, because you can get them with i9s, i7s, I mean, they're complete PCs, work or enterprise grade quality. So
it's funny, when I opened the box, Gloria looked at it and she said, "Well, where's the CD-ROM drive? The DVD drive. You don't have not even laptops come with those anymore.
Yeah.
If you want one, you got to go out and buy an external for around $30. And honestly, I think that's the best way to go, anyways.
USB and leave it in your bag.
Yeah. The only benefit of having a CD drive on a laptop that I have found is you can go out and you can buy the caddies now that fit in that CD port, and actually put in a drive, so you've got your extra storage. Then you get a lot more storage than you would having to burn off a CD or DVD. I've got one of those on my my old Asus, and I love it. Just plug it in. It's got a drive in there. There's your backup drive.
I just love the fact that both your Windows 10 operating systems and or Linux operating systems come with the ability to create virtual ISOs from downloads, and then you can just put them on a thumb drive or USB stick or anything that you have plugged into the USB. So you still really don't need the actual physical media.
Now, if somebody was going to do a Raspberry Pi, Justin, you have more experience with that.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them.
What's the video output on that? Is it HDMI? How does it?
They have an HDMI output on that.
They don't have VGA though, right?
No,
they have a
it's
model.
Only HDMI. Well,
no, they have a model that they made a model.
Really?
I think they made a model that had serial, not VGA.
Yeah, no, every one of them comes with serial,
okay, a serial,
but not VGA. Well. No, the only video output is HDMI.
Right.
Now, the serial port is still the same DB9 connector, so it looks the same.
Yeah.
There are some companies out there I know that are making Raspberry Pi enclosures that are actually smaller than this ACE PC T11.
That's
which,
what I have.
And pretty much are all good to go.
Yeah.
You just have to, install the SD drive with the OS, and you're good to go.
I was trying to find my Pi for tonight, because it's the size of my hand, but it's a little box.
I've got a couple right here next to me, but I can't really do much with them because, you can't even really. Well, where does my background?
Right.
Do you have the cases with yours?
Yeah. Well, actually, this one here is actually my Pi hole. This Pi actually is my home automation system. If you're watching the video that we're going to put up on the web later, you'll see it. But I have my home automation system. It has a USB dongle. It's the AOTech Z-Wave dongle. So that runs my home automation system. And then I have another Raspberry Pi. Well, I really can't bring this one out because the power cord's too tight. But that runs my OctoPi, which is for my 3D printer, which, if you're watching the video, is right here behind me. And that actually controls my 3D printer. So I can actually leave it running constantly with no problems because it monitors it with a webcam, which I've totally like put a redneck engineering on this whole thing. And I've
I resemble that remark.
Well, that's on you. I've taped this webcam to a light and it points at the thing. So whenever it senses the 3D printer is starting to fail, it automatically shuts down the 3D printer.
I want to clarify. Cool. I want to clarify. We're both veterans. You actually militarized that. That is duct tape. That is literally, that's not redneck.
That's electrical tape. That's redneck, straight up.
All right. There was something, this was pretty cool because I thought of you today, Sean. There was a story, CNET had shared this story, and I thought, well, this is pretty neat. You mentioned not long ago about the Brave browser. And
yeah,
we were giving you a hard time about it, but there was some news that has come out regarding that. Yeah,
I'd have to pull up the article again, but from what I recall from the article was that Brave led the security. Companies go out and try and break into these browsers and test their securities and things like that. And Brave came out on top, is from what I recall. Brave is just a browser that it came up through my Facebook feed, or I don't remember where I saw it. I was like, this looks cool. I'll download it and try it. What I like about it is it's automatically included in the browser. It's pop-up blocking, all your ad blocking, all that stuff. So you don't have to use an extension to get that, like AdBlock Plus or anything like that. And it also allows you to generate. They serve you ads. This is the only thing that is a lot of people don't like about it is they serve you ads in the browser, not video ads, not anything like that. Just
wait. Let me ask you this: with the ads, if I have a Pi-hole, which it's literally called Pi-hole. Okay.
Yeah.
For those of you. It's a Raspberry Pi that runs an ad blocker service on my local area network. If I have a Pi-hole, would it block those ads?
I honestly don't know. I would have to try. I would have to see.
I'm gonna download it right now.
I want to try this Brave browser now, Sean. Right off the bat, and we'll get back to the ads. Does it show you how many blocked attempts it gets for ads and cookies, like on the screen?
Yeah, so right now I just opened up a new tab and it says I don't know what the time frame is on this. Maybe if I click on this, it'll tell me. It tells me 7,981 ads and trackers have been blocked.
Wow.
And it says 140 HTTPS upgraded sites you visited.
And it's built on the Chromium browser. So
wait, are you sure Chromium? Because it looks like it's Firefox.
No, it's built on Chromium, and which means you can run Chrome extensions on it. Which a lot of people, were a little bummed about leaving Chrome and going to Brave and not being able to run those Chrome extensions, but now they can.
Oh my goodness!
And you can also do Chromecast stuff with it too.
I just imported all of my Chrome bookmarks with one click.
Yes.
On this.
Yes, that
is really cool.
But the thing, I really haven't delved too much into the cryptocurrency. Maybe Justin can talk to a little bit more on this because he knows more about Bitcoin and all that stuff. But they do allow you, as they serve you ads in certain websites, you gain what they call BAT, B-A-T. And you can then link that, right? You can then link that to a wallet and it'll give you it. I think I have like $4 or something in my BAT wallet.
Right, and this is a free browser, so free for
free.
Using it. Now, what ads do you get served?
Like right now, here, let me see if I can pop it up. If I go to my computer, you guys can see right now, Culper underwear.
Oh, great.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Got served an ad for underwear. Click on this to get 20% off with the promo code BRAVE. Like serves you dumb ads like that. PayPal had ads. There's ads on there
it's kind of a cool business model because that means that basically they help strip you of other ads, but yet they'll feed you their own. And that means they're going to
they're very upfront about saying we are going to serve you ads with this browser.
Right. All right.
they're not super intrusive, and I maybe get one every half an hour at the most.
Wait, when you say one every half an hour, you're talking about when you try to open up a website, it opens up a new tab with a whole advertisement that you have to watch?
No. I just got sent a it popped up as a Windows 10 notification saying, "Hey, here's this ad that I'm serving you through Brave."
Oh, pretty neat.
Did you actually have to watch the ad?
No, it just literally says, "Click on this," or you can X out of it.
It's not a video or anything
Not
like
a video
that.
ad. It's just a.
I like it.
It didn't like to import mine.
Oh, well, that's because it's you.
Well, I have my Google Chrome set up where I have multiple identities, i.e., personal.
Yeah, I think I saw you on the ID channel last week, weren't you on that one? All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We come back. So Brave is the browser that CNET is they've been giving really good reviews to. So I just think that's perfect. I like it. All right, and you can find it at brave.com. Broadway's still installing his. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Sean DeWeird.
I'm Broadway.
And I'm Justin. You can find us on the web at TechtalkRadio.com.